Tonight, find out what candidates are saying about Donald Trump, who is cheating, and what state is experiencing vicious weather. All this and more coming up on the National Rundown.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome to the National Rundown. I'm Cherie Moore.
And I'm Alexis Capelli. V-positive patients in Baltimore, Maryland are able to see better days thanks to a successful liver and kidney transplant. Johns Hopkins University announced Wednesday it did what it believes is the world's first HIV to HIV liver transplant and the first American HIV to HIV kidney transplant. Those organs would have been thrown away because of the HIV infection. The patients are remaining anonymous, but Hopkins says the kidney recipient is recuperating at home and the liver recipient is expected to be discharged soon.
The third American killed in the Brussels terror attacks has been identified. Texas Congressman Blake Farenthold confirms it was the wife of a U.S. Air Force officer who is stationed in Europe. 41-year-old Gail Martinez, wife of Lieutenant Colonel Cato Martinez, was in the airport with her husband and 4 children during the attack. Farenthold offered his condolences to Martinez's family, saying her life was tragically cut short. Presidential candidates weigh in on Donald Trump's latest controversial comments on punishing women for abortions.
Donald Trump is getting hammered for what he said Wednesday, that women should be punished for having abortions if they were made illegal.
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents, 10 years,
I don't know. That I don't know. That
Why
I don't
not?
know.
Trump's fellow Republican candidates immediately criticized the comment.
That comment was wrong. It's the latest demonstration of how little Donald has thought about any of the serious issues facing this country.
Women shouldn't be punished. I think probably Donald Trump will figure out a way to say that he didn't say it or he was misquoted or whatever.
Trump quickly backtracked. His campaign manager issued a statement within hours that abortion providers, not patients, should be held legally responsible. Democrats Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are both back on the campaign trail today. Sanders did not address the controversy, focusing on labor at a rally in Pittsburgh.
Trade agreements have got to work for these people and their families, not just the CEOs of large corporations.
Even groups opposed to abortion rights spoke out about Trump's remark, saying he's out of step with their movement. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Washington.
President Barack Obama commutes prison sentences for 61 nonviolent drug offenders on Wednesday, and the White House said he hopes to issue more pardons and commutations during his remaining months in office. Obama has now commuted 248 sentences, which the White House said was more than the previous 6 presidents combined. According to the White House counsel, Neil Eggleston, the president is committed to continuing to issue more grants of clemency, as well as to strengthening rehabilitation programs.
A Maui police officer is under arrest for the 5th time in just over a year for offenses ranging from child endangerment to DUI to skipping court. Rachel Garvin's 5 arrests are from January 2015 to January 2016. In May 2015, Garvin was arrested for drunk driving and refusing to submit a breathalyzer. Maui police sent out a news release about the incident, but never mentioned Garvin prior to record or probation violations. The 2 cases eventually led to 3 more arrests, which includes more probationary abuse and court date absences that were scheduled in January 2016. The Maui Police Department and the police union did not return phone calls seeking comment. A woman is murdered in Delaware County by someone investigators believe she knew. A friend found the body of the 36-year-old Markia Benson in her bathtub in Sicane, Pennsylvania on Wednesday night. Authorities says Benson was badly beaten and possibly strangled, adding there were no signs of a forced entry led to them to believe she knew her attacker. Officials are calling it a tremendously violent crime and are asking anyone with information to call police.
Doctors are urging teenagers to be aware of the super pill. This powerful drug is a mixture of Xanax and fentanyl and has the power to kill people that take it in a matter of minutes. Doctors are worried about pill-popping parties where teens consume random medicine that is normally stolen from their parents. So far, 9 people have died in Tampa, Florida from this pill, and it is believed to be very dangerous. Physicians urge parents to speak with their teenagers about the unnecessary consumption of pills and warn them about their effects.
Bernie Sanders is making strides to take Wisconsin. The Vermont senator spent yesterday traveling across the state campaigning against Hillary Clinton. A recent poll showed that Sanders was 4 points ahead of Clinton and taking Wisconsin. Sanders attacked Clinton, calling her trade policies disastrous and caused companies like Chrysler and General Motors closing down. Now to Kayla with sports.
Thanks, guys. Far from easy, but mission accomplished for the Golden State Warriors in their tough overtime win against the Utah Jazz. Steph Curry scored 31 points, and the Warriors sealed a franchise record with the win as well, but are now currently seeking to unlock a more notable achievement. Now 68-7, the Bay Area team set a single-season franchise record for victories, which crowns the 67 they won last year en route to the NBA championship. Golden State is also now the second team to win 68 games in a season, behind the legendary 95-96 Chicago Bulls, who went 72-10 for most victories in a single season. And just a little further down the water, LA Laker D'Angelo Russell has caused quite a controversy after he leaked the audio of teammate Nick Young admitting to infidelity against rapper girlfriend Iggy Azalea. Russell has raised tension among his teammates, and fans aren't too happy about the drama, considering the Lakers' 16-59 season record. Since the revealing, Russell has since apologized. That's all for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
The United States soda consumption is at its lowest level in 30 years. A report by Beverage Digest said Americans are actively trying to kick their soda habit by switching to bottled water and healthier juice drinks. Soda declines have been in a response to a rising level of alternatives in caffeinated drinks like iced coffee and energy drinks. Coming up, find out what a flight attendant had in her bag.
Danse, balance sur la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches, au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
North Carolina is the most recent state to pass a controversial transgender law. This week, Georgia's governor vetoed a similar law, but the governor of North Carolina is standing beside his state's new law. The new law, called HB2, bars discrimination protection for people who are gay or transgender. North Carolina now faces backlash from local businesses if the governor does not repeal the new state law.
Mishari is here to talk about Beyonce's latest announcement and one flop of a movie.
Thanks, guys. Empire comes back strong following the cliffhanger at the end of last season. Questions are being posed and tempers flare as the Lyon family tries to recover from the shocking developments of the mid-season finale. New songs were introduced, and the storyline focused on the youngest family member, Hakeem Lyon, as he muses on how to approach his family, which he scorned. Fans of Detective Comics are in shock. Batman vs. Superman received a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The film apparently tried too hard to force the lore of the entire DC cinematic universe into a single film, instead of gradually building up. Director Zack Snyder did manage to display a unique perspective in his cinematography, creating a bleak world filled with fiery and entertaining battles. Fans are hopeful for the upcoming standalone films featuring Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Shazam. Beyoncé and her daughter, Blue Ivy, took the fitness fashion world by storm, looking fierce in a new clothing line dubbed Ivy Park. Knowles' inspiration stemmed from her daughter and the role her father played maintaining her physical fitness during her childhood, as well as taking her out to local parks.
And now over to Zara with the latest on the Brussels attack and other world news.
Thanks, guys. First up, a Belgian court ruled today that Paris terror attack suspect Salah Abdeslam can be extradited to France after an arrest warrant was issued for him on March 19th. Belgian and French authorities will now consider how to proceed further in the transfer. A car bomb killed 4 Turkish police officers and wounded 20 other people in the southeastern city of Diyarbakir this morning. The attack targeted a minibus carrying members of the police special forces, said a security source. The blast came 2 days after the United States announced it would withdraw nearly all family members of U.S. troops and diplomats from its facilities in Turkey. Turkey, a NATO member, has been hit by some of the worst violence since the country began its fight against ISIS. And South Africa's President Jacob Zuma is under scrutiny after taking $15 million in state funds to upgrade his private home. The renovations included a swimming pool, cattle enclosure, chicken run, visitor center, and amphitheater. Opposition parties filed 2 cases alleging misuse of public funds, and the Constitutional Court ruled that Zuma must repay the money spent on renovations in 45 days. That's all for today. This has been Zara Asad for the World News Minute. Back to you guys at the desk.
Oklahoma is hit by several tornadoes. At least 7 people were injured. The storm also caused damage to buildings and trees. Although the severe storm system weakened after crossing Oklahoma, it still has the ability to produce tornadoes.
And now Stephen is here to talk with us about a bizarre event that involved a JetBlue flight attendant getting caught with drugs.
Real bizarre. You
That
definitely
is.
described that the best way possible, I think. Yeah, so it was crazy. I mean, she's a flight attendant, which means that you don't get searched automatically. It's kind of random searching. So she had been going through the process pretty well, and then she got searched this time, and there just so happened to be $3 million worth of cocaine on her. So
I guess
crazy stuff.
That is
Crazy stuff.
I guess the first question would be, how did a JetBlue flight attendant smuggle 70 pounds of cocaine?
Yeah, so exactly that. She just hadn't got checked. I mean, she went through the system fine, and then they had randomly searched her, and when they saw that she was going to be searched, she dropped her Gucci heels and ran on out of the way.
So what are her consequences?
So right now her bail is set at $500,000. She hasn't been accused of, well, she's only being accused right now. She hasn't been charged of anything, but I guess losing a pair of Gucci heels at the airport and I mean potentially the rest of your life is kind of a big consequence with that. So
It is. So what are the airlines going to do now that since her arrest?
yeah, so they're going to try to regulate the screenings that they have for people coming in, and then the random searches are going to be more random. They're going to regulate those as well. You know, $3 million worth of cocaine in one plane trip, that's a significant amount. 70 pounds, it's a lot of stuff. So
It is.
yeah.
Quite a
Buy
lot.
her Gucci shoes.
Oh, wow. Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
The FDA has approved a new abortion pill regimen on Wednesday that was welcomed by abortion rights groups. The change means that the drug Mifeprex can now be used 70 days into pregnancy, as opposed to the previous recommendation of 49 days. The FDA's decision also drew praise from groups such as Planned Parenthood.
Tesla Motors is preparing to unveil their newest electric car tonight at 8 p.m. The Model 3 is billed as a more affordable version of their Model S sedan and will retail at about $30,000.
Up next, find out what charities are being shut down.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
I can't seem to save anything.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
A proposal to allow people to carry guns in church is making its way through the Mississippi state legislature. The proposed bill would also broaden the state's concealed carry laws. The state Senate voted 36-14 in favor of the bill, which now heads to the House.
Baseball coach Rob Query of the Heritage High in Palm Bay, Florida, gives his players an unusual motivation. If they win 14 games, they can choose the name of his baby. The team is 12-6 with 2 more wins needed and 7 games left. The players have picked the name Benjamin Smalls Query from the team's favorite baseball movie, The Sandlot, in which the main characters are named Benjamin Rodriguez and Scotty Smalls. 2 cancer charities are accused of misusing $75 million in donations by state charity regulators. According to charity regulators, Cancer Fund of America and Cancer Support Services Incorporated spent donations on jet ski outings, dating website subscriptions, and other personal spending. According to Pennsylvania Attorney General Kathleen Kane, as little as 5% of the millions raised went to aid.
Find out the shocking events that happened to 2 endangered sea turtles when found displaced after the break.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Two rescued sea turtles have arrived at SeaWorld in San Diego to begin rehab after they were found stranded off the coast of Oregon. Thunder and Lightning are recovering nicely and hope to return to the wild soon.
The Yuba River Charter School in Nevada County, California, closes after a child is diagnosed with measles. California's Department of Public Health is investigating the child who showed symptoms of measles after returning from a trip overseas. The Yuba River Charter School's immunization rate is lower than the county average, where only 43% of kindergartners are vaccinated.
Officials say the Pentagon plans to transfer about a dozen Guantanamo inmates to 2 different countries. Currently, there are 91 prisoners at the U.S. Naval Base in Guantanamo Bay, most of whom have been held without a charge or trial for more than a decade. 37 detainees have already been cleared to be sent to their homelands or other countries. Obama presented Congress with a blueprint for closing the prison before he leaves office, but he faces stiff opposition from many Republican lawmakers. Maddie's here to tell us if this beautiful sunny spring-like weather is here to stay for the weekend.
Thanks, guys. It's going to be a little chilly tonight, though. It's 61 degrees out right now. So if you have a class or, you're going to go for a walk, maybe grab a quick coat. It's a 60% chance of rain, but it's mostly going to be cloudy. As for our 5-day forecast, tomorrow night, April is bringing in the showers. It's a high of 76, but 80% chance of thunderstorm. There's a low of 53. So if you're going out, be careful. There is a high percentage chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow night. As for the weekend, it still looks pretty dreary. Saturday, there's a high of 58 with a low of 37. 60% chance of rain. As for Sunday, it's a high of 46, low of 34. So there might be a little bit of sun in your Sunday, but chances are the weekend is just going to be to stay in and relax in the rain. As for Monday and Tuesday, Monday is going to be mostly cloudy, partly cloudy, high of 63, low of 35. Tuesday is mostly cloudy with a high of 44 and a low of 26. But let's take a look at our weather window. So right now you can see it's pretty windy out. It's a little sunny still, but when the sun goes down, it's definitely going to get colder out. It's not going to stay very sunny for much longer. Tomorrow is going to be a thunderstorm, and the weekend is going to be dreary and cloudy. So yeah, it's definitely a good weekend to just stay in and watch some movies.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and yes, exactly.
Sounds right.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
Well, that's great.
That's all for the National Rundown. I'm Alexis Capelli.
And I'm Cherie Moore. Have a good night.